How's it going, YouTube? Today it's raining outside. I figured maybe we could take a little trip somewhere else. So you've got a great idea for something you want to build and sell on the side. And you're thinking about joining Etsy. I've been on Etsy for about 10 years now, and looking back, I've had a lot of ups and downs, but by and large, it's been a great experience. First thing, you want to take the time to develop whatever it is you're going to sell. So whatever your area of interest in, you want to pick something that you're not just going to burn out with automatically. You also maybe don't want to start selling something where you're going to have a problem sourcing the materials to be able to continue to make the thing if it becomes popular. You want to refine your design, meaning you don't want it to just be a great design on pictures or over the internet, but you actually want it to be something great that when somebody puts their hands on it and looks at it up close, they feel like what they actually got was well represented by what you posted online. The second thing would be to then take great pictures and make a good listing. Listings that stand out tend to have better pictures. Better pictures doesn't mean you have to be a photographer, but what it does mean is you can't just be lazy with taking your shots. Set up some product shots, try a couple different areas. By and large, it helps to separate the item from the background. But another thing that will help is to go the extra step and edit the picture after you've taken it. Now with smartphones, you can edit pictures in the smartphone, in the camera apps usually. So you can find ways to edit to just change the contrast a little bit, bring up the brightness, darken the shadows, whatever you need to do to give that image a more polished look, I believe will help your listing stand out from others. The next thing you need to do is to be realistic about how much you need to get for this item. My pricing philosophy is pretty simple. I charge a price where I'm not going to resent the person who's buying it from me, because I'm figuring in to the whole equation the fact that I'm going to do this over and over and over again. You want to make sure before you launch a product, you've thought really long and hard and been realistic and honest with yourself about how much the item may be worth. Often things that have low prices on them, people look at, they don't respect an item more because it's of lower value. It's not necessarily marking the price lower so that you can get more sales is not necessarily the right choice for how to actually get an item to sell. You just want to take some time and think through what you need to get out of the item that you've made to realistically continue to make it if that's your plan. Assuming you've already set up an Etsy account, you want to go ahead and make a listing. Now a listing is going to give you the opportunity to put down that price, to show off the photographs that we've already talked about, but also to give you a little bit of time to describe the item. Often the tendency with things like this is to you just want to make things, and maybe you just want to sell things. But the truth is, in order to make and sell things, you have to take a little bit of extra time and think through how you want to say something, how you want to present something. Every little bit that goes in during the planning stage will pay off in the long term. So don't be hasty about getting a listing up. Before you start selling anything, one good idea, especially something that you've made, and maybe something that's never been seen or sold before, would be to take a couple people in your life that you trust, imagine that they paid you the amount that you're asking for it, and then allow them to take the item as though they bought it and mess around with it and give you honest feedback. Now to do this, it's not very helpful to just take people who are cheerleaders for you, who are not going to tell you the truth. What you really need to do is find people who are going to say specifically what they think about an item. Once you've hammered out a great description and you've made your listing and you've put it up there, part of you is going to want to sit back and just think everything's going to start rolling in. The sales are just going to start rolling in. The reality is that Etsy is a very populated market for sellers, so there are a lot of items on Etsy. What you might want to do is make several different categories that contain your item, or offer several different colors to contain your item. Etsy has some internal advertising, but there are lots of ways to get creative with advertising your Etsy products that don't have anything to do with paying for marketing. You can use social media to share the listings that you've created. That's a great way. You could make flyers and hand them out. You could make business cards that you hand out to people who you meet who may be interested in your projects. Don't just assume that by paying for clicks to look at your item, that that's the easy way out. What you want to do is try and find as many organic ways as possible to get your item visibility. That includes talking to your UPS man about what you build and maybe giving him a card or giving him a sample or showing him. Find an easy channel that you can use to show people and showcase your stuff. The final thing I'm going to tell you about being on Etsy and selling things on Etsy is you got to think about when somebody opens up the thing that they've bought from you. There are a couple things that you can do to control this that I think are incredibly important. The first one is that since Etsy is a site primarily for things that are handmade or custom built, there are lead times for handmade items. Now, if somebody orders something and it takes longer than they thought, then they automatically are a little bit upset because it took longer than they were expecting. But if you can manage to get it to somebody faster than they were expecting, already there's a certain sense of excitement that they ordered something, it was custom made for them, and now it's already here and they weren't expecting it. The second thing would be, you want to make sure that their experience with whatever it is that you've made gives them this great, I am so glad I ordered this. Maybe they didn't think it was going to be as great as it is. You want to make sure that you don't overpromise, that you understate and overdeliver. But whatever you do, you want to make sure that somebody has got this faster than they were expecting it, and that their initial reaction when they open the box and try it out or look at it or hang it on the wall for the first time is that they are really glad that they did that. The reason being is because when people have that experience of buying something where they're excited about what they've got, they're more likely to write a review that talks about their experience. The thing about Etsy and reviews and visibility is the more positive reviews that you can get through sales, and even if it happens slowly, they will snowball into continued sales. Sales will pick up when people start having positive reviews. That's all I got for now. I really just hope that you go ahead and take the plunge. Set up the account, work on your item, just do it.